8-5, losing in the second round in the NCAA tournament.
That was their winningest year in 93 seasons of basketball. Charles Smith expected tonight to become the all-time leading New Mexico scorer. He needs 16 to catch your Chicago Bull buddy, Luke Longley.
He needs 14 more right now to pass him, 15 to tie.
Pressure in the backcourt. The turnover on the Smith deflection. The Spider gets it back, and he is a little short with it. Rebound for Justin Whitehour of BYU.
BYU has to be patient. Utilize the clock, but get the best shot available. If they can get fouled, they can stay in this game. Keep the score low is what they want to do.
Tonight, Tony Ingle wants good shots, but more importantly, he told us today, he wants good clock.
Yes, and discipline. It takes a lot of discipline for kids who are accustomed to running up and down the court, using the shot clock. Let's see if they can continue to use that plan.
Shot clock at 5, and Matt Montague, one of the gutsiest players in America, drills it. This kid is playing with a bad right shoulder that has to be iced after every game. He can hardly stand the pain sometimes, and he drills the jumper right there.
And he gets cortisone. He's had a couple of cortisone injections in that shoulder.
Smith on the drive. Thomas lost it momentarily. Montague had a touch, and the little jumper won't go for Kenny Thomas, the big sophomore who was the WAC freshman of the year last season.
Possessions are going to be very important in this game, Bob. You have to maximize your possessions. For the Lobos, they want to get the ball up and down as quickly as they can. Find the quickest, but the best shot they can get.
You know, it's interesting, on a day when Pete Carrill and Don Haskins, the UTEP coach, go into the Hall of Fame, we're going to see a Pete Carrill-type offense by BYU here tonight. You don't see it very often in the WAC. There's Campbell on the jumper, blocked by Charles Smith. He's at a steal and now a block. Here he goes, and he's fouled before the pass, as getting back on defense was Lance Archibald.
Well, you mentioned Charles Smith. His nickname is Spider because they call him that because of his long arms. He has an 83-inch wingspan. He comes in and blocks Jeff Campbell's shot, but he doesn't swat it out of bounds. He keeps the ball right in front of him so he can come up with the steal.
3 a little bit short from Clayton Shields. And BYU leading 5-2, 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the ballgame.
Patience. Show a lot of patience.
Even if they get a good shot, if there's 15 on the shot clock, Tony Ingle wants them not to take that shot unless it's a layup.
He told them this afternoon he's going to pull them out of the game. If you don't show discipline, if you have a wide open layup, unless the clock is down inside of 6 or 5, don't take the shot.
Campbell never got iron. Rebound, Kenny Thomas, and the outlet for David Gibson. Gibson's the junior out of Sandia High School here in Albuquerque, who really settles them down and runs their offense.
Great defense.
New Mexico with 2 points in the first 3.5 minutes.
That was terrific defense by the Cougars, absolutely shielding off Kenny Thomas.
That's Montague switching to the left hand. Feels a lot better when he dribbles with his offhand. On the wing, that's Eric Nielsen. He's a freshman out of California. They've got some young players on this club. And of course, the BYU players, they often go on missions for the Mormon Church in the middle of their collegiate careers. Often come back as 23 or 24-year-old juniors and seniors. Here's Archibald. Not a good shot. But he had to take it. They were out of time.
Yes, he did. But they still utilize the clock all the way down.
Shields can't hit. Lamont Long the rebound, forcing his way in. Shields stripped on the way up. Campbell picks up the loose one for the Cougars.
There is no question in terms of athleticism that the Lobos have the advantage in this game. That's why BYU has to try to utilize the clock and execute. Run some backdoor cuts. Run whatever it takes to get time off the clock and try to get that best shot.
This year on the road, BYU has lost games by an average of a stunning 26 points. Right now they're +3, and we're nearing the 5-minute mark played.
Well, they do want to keep this score low, but they have to rebound the ball. That's going to be key for them.
Nielsen got it away. That's about 3 possessions in a row when they haven't even drawn iron.
Yeah.
4 minutes, 48 seconds in. A bit of a surprise as the Cougars get the pace they want and lead 5-2. And Super Tuesday's coming up on ESPN. For the Big Ten first, we've got nothing but ranked teams all over the place. Hoosiers trying to regroup after losing to Illinois and Ohio State last week. And then how about the matchup in the SEC? Kentucky without Derek Anderson, and South Carolina, they've won 10 straight, undefeated in league play. Who would have thought they'd be atop the SEC East going into February? B.J. Mackey, Larry Davis and company against those Cats of Kentucky in the Southeastern Conference tomorrow night. That one won't go for the left side for Royce Olney with the jumper. He's one of those guys who gives them instant offense off the bench. And New Mexico now 0 for 7. This is the kind of lull you fear as the head coach, Derek, after you're coming off a big emotional win 2 days earlier.
And that's one of the things Dave Bliss talked to us about this afternoon, saying that he was concerned. He wasn't afraid, just concerned that his players would come in and match the level that the Cougars are going to come out here at and really not be up for this game the way they were up against Utah.
Campbell on the pick and roll. He thought about going for a shot, then the ball was stripped away from him. And here come the Lobos. Gibson with the kick for long. They have not scored a field goal until now. That's Kenny Thomas, and that was a high percentage shot.
About as high percentage as you can get. It was an excellent pass to the offhand. Thomas was able to spin inside.
Kenny Thomas was injured for a key road game recently. Could not play in the game at Tulsa, and the Golden Hurricane blew out the Lobos. Tulsa's coming in here on ESPN in a couple of weeks, but we saw that night in Oklahoma how valuable Kenny Thomas can be to this club.
That'll be an interesting game, an interesting payback game.
This is Montague on the dribble. Lamont Long on him. The kick to Archibald. He knocks down the three.
Textbook.
A 30% shooter out there. As a team, they're only 27%.
But that was a textbook play. Once again, they used the shot clock, got it within 5 seconds, and found the open man.
Cougars lead 8-4. We've got an offensive foul against New Mexico. Tom O'Neill down there to call it. It appears to be against Lamont Long.
Trying to get the ball inside once again and get that inside position. But the Cougars have done a fantastic job of showing discipline, being patient, and also rebounding on the defensive end.
And Georgetown finding a way to win over UConn tonight. That was our first game on Big Monday. How about Texas coming up big against Tech, winning by 16 at home. You lose to Baylor, you lose to Oklahoma, and then turn around and beat number 23 Texas Tech.
For Georgetown, that was a low-scoring contest, wasn't it?
We've seen a few of those this year.
Quite a few.
There's Montague on the drive for BYU. Archibald's feeling it. Whitehour got the rebound. He got rid of the ball before getting up. On the intercept, it's Royce Olney for New Mexico. And the banker from the right side for Clayton Shields. And maybe that slam by Kenny Thomas will get the Lobos warmed up.
Well, transition basketball, that's what has to happen for the Lobos. They want steals, they want possessions. They want to try to get the ball up quickly before BYU has a chance to set their defense.
Good look down low. Nielsen on a no-looker from Matt Montague. That was about a 45-foot pass.
Well, they made the Lobos pay that time for their press. Got the ball inside, kind of lulled them to sleep with using the 35-second shot clock, and then took it right to the basket.
10-6 BYU. A record of 1-16.
Lost 12 in a row.
Only 4-3. I would venture to say, Derek, we've never had a 1-16 team on Big Monday.
I don't recall one.
But they're playing okay right now, leading by 1. They're under control. They've got the pace they like.
Their one win, Bob, was against Utah State, and in that game they shot 64% from the field and still won the game 64-61 on the last possession.
Nielsen a little bit short with it. Strong rebound. Clayton Shields, who last year was a freshman All-American. He'll handle in transition and leave it for Olney. He penetrates, can't roll it in. Last touch by the Cougars, and the Lobos have it back with a fresh 35 when we come back. 8:45 in. The Cougars still by 1. They lead at 10-9. State. Lobos 10-9. Bob Carpenter and Derek Hourglass Dickey here at the pit in New Mexico. And how about the shot clock? How are they using it so far?
Well, Tony Engel wanted to manage the clock properly. He wanted his guys to show some patience and some discipline and take the shot within the 10-second limit of the shot clock. 10 times they've done it. They've only had one violation. To me, that's great management.
Tony Ingalls from Dalton, Georgia, went to Huntington College in Alabama. Worked for Roger Reed for 7+ years. Reed had been with BYU as an assistant and a head coach for more than 17 years before being let go.
Roger Reed had terrific success with the Cougars in 6 straight 20-win seasons. He did a terrific job.
Charles Smith on the miss. Rebound, Lamont Long. A shot fake. He knocks it down. Freshman out of Tempe, Arizona. He was formerly a co-Arizona Player of the Year with a young man named Bibby, who's doing a pretty good job in Tucson right now.
Mike Bibby you're talking about, son of Henry Bibby, the head coach at USC. Mike's going to be a terrific player.
First lead for New Mexico.
New Mexico has gotten what they wanted. They want to get the ball up on the glass and attack it. Get second and third chances if they can.
Montague kicks it down. 5 on the shot clock. Whitehour to the glass and a nice touch. And Justin Whitehour, Jr., has 5 already. He's had some pretty good games, and he's a good defensive player. When they played Tulsa, he helped Shea Seals to 13. And it looks like a foul on Jeff Campbell. Nope. It's going to be Lance Archibald who is helping Campbell. Here's Whitehour on the drive.
Yeah, Justin Whitehour, he's a junior, and he does a terrific job knowing the shot clock. He's once again taking a look to see what it is. He's had a couple of pretty good games this season against TCU, 10 points, 15 rebounds. San Diego State, he had 15 points and 11 boards.
BYU packing it in pretty well. Lobos are going to have to hit some outside shots to open this thing up. Smith on the drive.
Ball.
That's a possession call. The Lobos do have the possession arrow, so they will keep it.
Good defense, but again, the Cougars are allowing the Lobos to get second chances with the offensive rebound. I thought there was great inside positioning again by Whitehour, doing a terrific job of holding his own.
Veteran officiating crew of Jim Stupin, Tom O'Neill, and Gary Sitton assigned by the WAC tonight. Royce Olney will throw it in. Kenny Thomas. Now they'll swing it around to the near side for Clayton Shields. He goes left side baseline, and Whitehour did a nice job to stop him.
Seal him off on the baseline.
Shields gets it right back. That was a beauty. Perfect rotation. He's number 2 in the WAC from out there at 45%.
Terrific outside shooter, but can also slash to the basket.
And the Lobos by 2. 9:20 to go, first half.
See if the Cougars can use the clock, but try to get a shot without the defense in your face. Jeff Campbell's had difficulty trying to find that open space.
Montague being watched by Olney. Shot clock inside 5. Montague the kick for Whitehour. He's been hot, but he can't knock that one down. And that's not a good foul if you're a team that doesn't have a whole lot of depth. Jeff Campbell was on the back of Charles Smith, who had very good rebounding position.
And when a player has that kind of position, you let it go. Give up the fact that he's got the possession, but get back down court. You don't want to give up one of those fouls that's going to take you out of the game.
You saw Kenny Thomas getting a breather. That's Ben Baum, number 54. He played 2 years for Eddie Sutton at Oklahoma State, backing up Bryant Reeves.
Does he remind you of Big Country a little bit?
Yep. Number 54 in white, not quite as bulky, but a big fella who goes 6'11", 250. And a pretty good play by Olney. He got it off of Montague. Tom O'Neill gave it to BYU and then wisely reversed his call.
That's a good hustle play.
Out on top, Gibson for Olney. They're looking for Clayton Shields on the left block. Now they switch it over to David Gibson. Shooting the gap for the interception is Justin Whitehour, and immediately they give it up.
2 bad passes.
That's how you come in here and get blown out, is if you give up the ball right after you get it.
That's why possessions are going to be so important in a game like this, especially for the Cougars. They cannot afford to turn it over.
Smith He just doesn't miss when he's that open. The Spider has 5. Look out, Luke Longley. Here he comes.
Came into the game with 1,754 points and over 500 rebounds.
How about the game he had on Saturday? 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists against number 4, now number 5, Utah. I think we might have had a technical against the BYU bench.
Might have been the coach.
There's the race in the Mountain Division. Derek, there's no doubt right now the Mountain is the better of the 2 divisions in the WAC with Utah, Tulsa, and New Mexico. But there's some pretty good clubs in the Pacific Division as well. Hawaii's looking good. Colorado State, Fresno State, Jerry Tarkanian's team. We'll see them in 2 weeks when he makes his return to Vegas.
That'll be a fun game. I think there's a chance, Bob, and you know, if the people that make the selections for postseason play, that possibly 4, and I think the WAC conference is looking at maybe 5 teams making it that far. Tony Engel, he's the one who had the technical foul called on him. He's still a little upset.
Olney is New Mexico's best shooter. He'll shoot the tees.
You jinxed it.
New Mexico, or excuse me, BYU had called a 20. Now after the technical, possession for the Lobos. Olney wasn't ready for the pass by Gibson, but caught it anyway. Uh-oh, Smith again. Uh-oh. He can turn the tide of this game in a hurry. They call him their leader, and many think that on Saturday he had the best game he's ever had in a Lobo uniform.
Terrific dribble penetration by Olney to set that up.
They give it up again. Smith on the dribble. Yes!
Can he score?
And Tony Ingles got to stop it again.
20 seconds.
Another 20-second timeout, and it comes 38 seconds after the previous one.
Well, Tony Engel wants to try to keep this crowd down. He doesn't want his players to panic. When you get behind, especially in a hostile environment like this, you want to try to do things that take away from the game plan that you come in with, and that's exactly what the Lobos have done. They turned it up another notch defensively. The Cougars have panicked this early.
They've been waiting for the explosion, and it finally came from Charles Smith, all WAC last year, but he also made the all-defensive team last year. He's not just a scorer. And now BYU is in big trouble.
Yeah, and keep an eye on Smith. He's on one of those rolls right now where the basket looks awfully large.
Lobos trapping at half court. Off the heads of Nielsen. He would have had a great shot on the back door, but Archibald's pass was too high. Now we have an official's timeout. The Cougars come to a grinding halt, and here at the pit, the Lobos take.
Everybody's having sweetheart sales, but only Bob.
Over the last 2.5 minutes, Charles Smith gets 2/3 of that. And you mentioned it earlier, Derek, he can do it inside and on the perimeter as well.
Yes, he can, but this was just terrific dribble penetration by Royce Olney to be able to get inside the zone by BYU, pitch it out, and if you want to find a man, certainly find that hot hand. Charles Smith, with 10 points in this game so far, has that hand.
He's getting closer to Luke Longley, the big man here. Back in the late 80s, Dave Bliss still laughs when he talks about Luke Longley. There's Shields. Everybody's doing it now for the Lobos. Longley was an unflappable, kind of happy-go-lucky guy here who would go on to lead them in scoring, but that mark's about to fall.
Luke's a terrific young man. I work with him every day, and just recovering from a shoulder injury, trying to get back in shape now, but he sends his best to all of his friends here in New Mexico.
They remember him well. Jeff Campbell out on top. Shot clock under 10. It sure seems like the shot clock moves a lot quicker in the game than it did today in practice.
Yes, it does.
Archibald way out there. Rebound, Lamont Long.
One shot and out again for the Cougars.
26-12, New Mexico.
If you're going to utilize the shot clock, you want the best shot available. Try to get it inside if you can.
The hanger from Smith won't go. Offensive foul, and Clayton Shields can't believe it.
He is not happy about that call. He came down in traffic with the offensive rebound. Watch as Clayton Shields comes down with his rebound. He's got a defender in front of him and behind him, but he turns inside. Look at his shoulder. Bang, right there. That's the contact. Offensive foul.
Archibald trapped. Lobos everywhere, it seems. Montague, great angle, backdoor. Whitehour gets his own miss, and Justin now leads the Cougars with 7 points.
Much better ability to break that pressure because New Mexico is going to continue to push BYU out further. If you can get a pass over the top, you have a chance to attack the glass.
Whitehour at 6'7", a great rebounder for BYU, but not a good jumper. He just loves to get the ball. Shields, 3 rattles out on him. Now it flies over the baseline and goes back to BYU.
Boy, the Lobos are doing a terrific job of getting the ball inside, pitching it back out. The classic inside-outside game, finding the open man.
3/4 court pressure now. We didn't see much of it early because they didn't have any made baskets. As soon as they made a few, things really changed. There's the interception by Kenny Thomas. Lamont Long. Kenny had a long time to play free safety on that ball in the air.
Quite a bit of time and able to get the ball under control.
That's Lamont Long. Good pass fake using the glass. Wow, what a follow by Clayton Shields. And he joins Charles Smith in double figures.
He hung in the air. He actually mistimed his jump. Was able to keep it alive as he was coming down.
Here's Archibald. That's how they're going to pass up shots.
Unless they have a wide open layup, they're going to bring it back out.
Clock running inside the 4:40 mark in a swift moving first half. Lobos on top by 14 after trailing early. Montague with penetration. And the long rebound for David Gibson.
Another quick shot with a hand in the face.
Gibson, the kick for Long. Look at that strong rebound, but it won't go down for Kenny Thomas. He did a nice job of hitting the offensive iron that time.
He faded away from the basket he avoided the contact instead of going with it.
Clayton Shields will get his second foul after the putback a moment ago.
Lamont Long, is just a freshman. He's able to get inside with some dribble penetration, but nice timing by Clayton Shields to go up and actually tip the ball from behind to keep it alive and go in the basket. They need a little bit more of that. BYU has to block out a little bit better.
Grant Burgess just checked in for BYU. One of their perimeter guys, that's him, passing off to Whitehour. They really don't give their reserves any playing time to speak of because they have very little depth. Whitehour for Campbell. Nice ball movement by the Cougars, and Jeff Campbell has his first basket. He leads them at 16 a game.
They got out of their game plan a little bit. The shot clock was about 15-16. Campbell took the shot, but it was the best shot available.
Thomas the jumper. And then Whitehour takes a hit from Charles Smith, who got there late.
A lot of contact, no harm, no foul. Well, there was a foul. Outside shot by Kenny Thomas. Maybe not the best person for taking that shot.
3:31 to go before halftime. BYU trying to hang tough. They got Campbell started a moment ago, but it's 28-16 Lobos. On Wednesday night, that should be a beauty.
He, Jacques Vaughn, Keith Van Horn. I thought they made terrific decisions to stay in school one more season.
They traveled the road less traveled, didn't they?
Yes.
And we're glad of it. By the way, Jacques Vaughn and the Jayhawks, still unbeaten, will be at Missouri in the Big 12 tomorrow night. Montague with the entry for Whitehour. Justin Whitehour's getting some pretty good service from his point guard, and he has 9 to lead the Cougars of Brigham Young.
That was a quick shot inside by Justin to be able to get that ball up before the defense could recover.
Some shots you just can't pass up.
No,
right?
you have to take it, even though the clock is not inside where you want it.
That's a freshman, Lamont Long, on the drive. He's a slasher and a finisher, and they call him a young spider. So even after Charles Smith leaves this year, there will be a spider here for the next 3.
I think so. Assistant coaches Doug Ash and Tony Benford said that he doesn't play like a freshman. He plays like a much more mature player. That's what they need. They need his leadership out on the floor.
Well, some coaches will tell you, hey, it's February. You're not a freshman anymore.
Absolutely not. Once the season begins, you get some conference games under your belt, time to play.
Whitehour way out there. Nielsen caught it. And they never did get a shot off that got iron. Here comes Smith. He kicks it on the wing. Schornstein. That's a 2. Pretty good senior role player on this team who was a starter. He's been slumping with his shot, and so they put Long in there. But Schornstein gets a little confidence builder right there.
Well, Schornstein had started 39 straight games before the last game on Saturday, but he is a player who will do whatever Dave Bliss will ask him to do.
32-18, New Mexico. 90 seconds to go before our Delta Faucet halftime report. Fowler and company standing by. Over the top, and Charles Smith gets that one out of there. Here's Gibson. How quick was that drive? And he takes a hit on the way in. It will be Justin Whitehour's first foul. Chris Fowler hanging with us late, so Special K. And what a night for the Longhorns earlier tonight. We'll also check in on the Hoyas and the Huskies. Updates from the NBA, some Shaq news. It's all coming up on the Delta Faucet halftime report.
I hope Shaq's going to be okay. He injured his knee a little bit the other day.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get back for that date with the Bulls in a couple of nights, does he?
I think he wants to be there.
Yeah. Charles Smith takes a breather. So does Jeff Campbell for BYU. Royce Olney, three-point sniper, checks back in for Dave Bliss. This is David Gibson. Local kid had 10 against Utah the other day. 8 of those in the second half. But he's had 2 conference games like that already this year. He had 11 against UTEP, and 9 of those came against Don Haskins' team after intermission. Congratulations to the Bear.
Yes.
A Hall of Famer as of today, along with Pete Carrill.
There's no reason why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Great credentials.
Final minute. Shot clock down to 12. Montague 30 feet from the basket.
David Gibson all over him.
Look at Kenny Thomas come out to help. Shot clock at 5. Archibald drives, loses it. Here comes Gibson. Just weaving his way around. We're down to 35 seconds. There's about a 9-second differential between the clocks.
Has to be a little shell shock in the eyes of the Cougars in this game so far.
Thomas, look at that spin move on the baseline.
That quick to the baseline.
That's one of his 2 favorite moves. The other one is the jump hook. I'm sure we'll see it before the night's over.
He lost 20 pounds since last season. He really looks trim. Very strong.
280 to 260. Final 7 seconds now. Montague throws one up. Barely got iron. Whitehour gets it back. At the buzzer, it is short. And New Mexico will lead it by a total of 17 at the half. Charles Smith had a big-time explosion in the middle of the first half. Well, Chris Fowler, we see how explosive this New Mexico team can be despite the Cougars' slowdown tactics.
Well, that's right, Bob. They go.
They pressure so well, and again, it was only a matter of time. They didn't score a field goal for about the first 4 minutes of the game, but after they got a couple, the defensive pressure really got turned on. BYU in possession, second half underway. Campbell receives it. Archibald has his 3 rim out on him. It'll go back the other way.
Well, it looked like the Cougars were trying to utilize the clock again, but they took an outside shot with about 20 on the shot clock. Once they missed, they're only getting 1 shot attempt, and they're out. New Mexico's going back down on the offensive end.
Out high is Charles Smith. This could be a night of history for him in the second half. That's a 3. Clayton Shields with 13. You don't often see the touch soft enough from that range to rattle around and go in.
You're right, Bob. Usually when you see a shot that far out, if it hits the rim, it's going to bounce long. 10-second violation. Defense. The average time of possession before a shot attempt in this game so far. BYU is using a 35-second shot clock all the way down to about 29. New Mexico, on the other hand, they're taking a shot within 10 seconds of their possession.
Smith from the left side. And if that goes in, it really won't be fair. But Kenny Thomas missed the long-range shot. Smith can't knock it down. Long gets it back. Smith again. And he has 13 now. It's a countdown that's down to 3 for being the all-time New Mexico leading scorer.
What a terrific job on the offensive glass by the Lobos to give them more possessions.
Number 21, top of your screen, is Robbie Yates, who checks in for the first time. A Salt Lake City kid for BYU out of Brighton High School. One of their perimeter guys. Shot clock down there in a hurry again. Nielsen short with it. Rebound, Kenny Thomas.
Long shot and no offensive rebounds.
Spider does it from the corner. 16 for Smith.
All-time leading scorer in Lobos history.
He gets them in flurries. 10 points in the first half. 8 of them came very quickly. And now a pair of 3s in the second half puts him atop the all-time scoring list here in Albuquerque.
The fans are standing, waiting for a dead ball.
This is Campbell for BYU. The jumper rolls down and he gets fouled.
Offensive foul.
That will be Jeff Campbell's third. Sorry about that, partner. About 50 people standing in front of us blocked me out. I took the charge that time.
Well, they're blocking both of us out, just trying that. They're waiting for a dead ball so that the referees can present the ball to Smith.
Smith travels. (44-18) New Mexico.
Starting off the second half like they finished, with a flurry on the defensive end.
They're really forcing BYU to make a lot of long cross-court passes. This is Montague running the offense.
I think BYU has to start looking for that best shot. Inside of 5 seconds, they're not finding it.
Whitehour, and he takes a hit on the way in. He's been the one offensive threat for the Cougars throughout this ballgame.
Well, he's got enough athleticism that he can put the ball on the floor and dribble into and out of traffic and still be able to get a shot attempt off. Jeff Campbell doesn't seem to have that kind of mobility.
Charles Smith will go to the bench. Dave Bliss, 5 years ago, when he was recruiting him out of Dunbar High School in Fort Worth, said, "You're going to leave Albuquerque as our all-time leading scorer." He didn't know it was going to become true because Bliss admits he's told that to about 17 different kids. But this time, it worked out.
It did work out. It came true, and he's had a terrific career.
And if anybody knows about Fort Worth, it's Dave Bliss, who coached on the other side of the Metroplex over at SMU for 8 pretty good years. That's double figures now for Justin Whitehour of BYU. Cougars reached 20, but they've given up 44. 16:45 to go in the second half.
When you play their style of offense and defense and utilizing the shot clock, you have to find a way to get back in a game, and it's difficult when you're behind.
Lamont Long traveling on that first step. Lobos will treat it like a make and they'll put some pressure on here, but now it's only Long as everybody else drops back into the half court.
BYU is a very young team. We mentioned that in the first half. They only have one senior. They have 8 freshmen on this ball club.
Campbell and Whitehour, each at the age of 24. They have served their LDS missions. And you can see Tony Engel, he's looking right at Robbie Yates. That's not the pass you're looking for when you're trying to run your offense for 35 seconds. And Grant Burgess, a 24-year-old junior, will come in.
And that's the problem you have with kids who are accustomed to just running the ball up and down the court. Now you're totally going away from what you've learned. You're 1 in 15 and you're trying to find some continuity. You need to do it on the defensive end, but I still think find the best shot available.
Long with the running left-hander. Got his own right in front of Whitehour.
Terrific hustle on the offensive glass.
That's a half dozen for the freshman. He's getting better and better every game. And that's not bad when you're a freshman and you're starting for the number 9 team in the nation.
Not at all. A senior in high school, he averaged 29 points a game, but as a junior, 33 points a game.
Yeah, 25 a game for his entire career. Not a bad 4-year average.
Not at all.
This is Whitehour at the high post. The kick back to Montague. BYU 1 in 16 on the year, 0 in 7 in the WAC. Whitehour blocked by Kenny Thomas.
Defense again.
That was even a fadeaway jumper that got blocked. Off the legs of Montague and out of bounds on the near side. A timeout on the floor. Charles Smith steps into the New Mexico history book as their all-time leading scorer. It came on this long-range bomb, and the Lobos are rolling at the tip.
This
Right now, it's New Mexico by 26. Coming up Thursday, it's another tripleheader on ESPN. Number 13, Michigan, and the Badgers. That race is still wide open out there. Number 21 in Tulane and number 12, Cincinnati, reeling a bit in Conference USA play after losing in Louisville on Thursday. And then at the Sports Center, we go to the Big West, Long Beach State and Nevada. And there's a look at things in Conference USA. Tulane playing very good basketball. Honeycutt and Company, 7-0. But I'm not sure I'd want to play Cincinnati right after losing a conference game. They got one over the weekend with Fortson and Patterson sitting out. And they'll be back at full strength for that one Thursday night.
Well, I think Fortson and Patterson are going to be awfully hungry, and Bob Huggins wants his guys to come in and compete. They'll get their starting positions back.
Strong drive by Kenny Thomas. And the BYU foul on Justin Whitehour. That'll be his second.
The more I see of Kenny Thomas, the more I like him. Last year, he got in foul trouble a lot. He used to reach. He was a freshman. He played very well. He was first-team All-WAC as a freshman, but he always took himself out of the game. This year, he's trimmed down. He's really come in with a better attitude, and he's playing great basketball, making very good decisions.
74% free throw shooter. That's his 5th point of the night. He's had 5 double-doubles this year.
And shooting 58% from the floor.
He's got about the same free throw shooting stats as Kenny Fortson does, or Danny Fortson. Kenny Thomas, both of them shooting in the mid-70s, and you love to see big men who can stroke from the line these days because they get there a lot.
I think Kenny Thomas is licking his chops against playing Tulsa here.
Yeah, he's going to look forward to that one.
He missed that game with a sprained ankle.
They are not the same team without him. Tulsa atop the Mountain Division with Utah at 7-1. New Mexico with a win tonight would go 6-2. Good look. Campbell from Burgess. Well, you got to make that shot.
Absolutely.
It'll go back the other way.
He was in the basket, and Bob, there comes a point where the 35-second shot clock, trying to utilize it and get a shot, down to 30, you take yourself out of the game. You become mathematically eliminated all by yourself. You want to be able to find the best shot available, defend, get defensive rebounds, but you got to score to win.
Charles Smith is back. Greg Shortstein just checking in. Daniel Santiago, he receives it on the floor, in the basket, and a foul. He's a fan favorite out here, out out of Del Norte High School in Albuquerque. He played with Edgar Padilla and Travieso on the Puerto Rican Olympic team this past summer, and he checks right in and has a chance for the three-point play.
Well, this is a nice entry pass by Charles Smith, but there's one reason. When you shoot 70%, 72% from the floor, you get high percentage looks like that, and Santiago at 7'1", able to use his body and make a nice little turn into the basket and draw the foul.
51-20, New Mexico.
Can't pick your dribble up out there, not against this team.
Burgess being watched by Royce Olney. Shot clock inside 10 again. Burgess on the drive. Hanging. Santiago got it loose, and here comes Schornstein. 3-on-2.
Nice
they
pass.
find the trailer. Olney knocks it down.
Beautiful pass from Charles Smith. Very unselfish play.
The route is on. It's been on for a while. It happened right about the time of the Tony Ingle technical in the first half with about 8 minutes to go, but the damage had already been done, and there was not a whole lot Tony could do to stop it.
Well, I still think they had a great game plan coming in, but there comes a point where you have to abandon that plan.
Montague rejected by Santiago. Now Burgess hangs and sneaks one in.
That's a tough shot by Grant Burgess with a defender hanging all over him.
53-22 New Mexico. Olney for Santiago. He puts a spin move on.
Wow.
Anderson rejects him. Right back in they go. And Charles Smith sneaks one in. The Spider now with 18 on the night and 1,772 points in his New Mexico career. Nobody's ever scored more.
Spider able to weave his way inside of traffic and get that shot over the defense. Fans are yelling Rogaine to Jeff Campbell.
Jeff Campbell is a very mature-looking 24. He does the pick and roll, but he's not open down the paint. And the jumper from David Anderson is well off. Burgess had a touch on the baseline. It'll go back to the Lobos. Now they'll overrule and go back the other way. Whitehour's back. So's Lamont Long. And when the Lobos get running in this building, you are in trouble. The Cougars are down by 33. Members of the WAC going way back to 1962, but Dave Bliss sees a whole new look in this league
well,
this year.
The difficult thing right now, and this is what is before the WAC, we've got some neat teams and they're playing pretty well, but there's a lot of great basketball teams in this country. The parity is unbelievable, and the only way to get in the tournament is to play your way in, and whether it's 4 or 5 teams, they all have to play their way in, and they can't have any stumble.
Well, there's a great race in the Mountain Division. New Mexico will go to 6-2 tonight. Only a game back of Tulsa and Utah. They still have a game here with Tulsa. They knocked off Utah here Saturday. Over in the Pacific, Hawaii, the one team in the country that probably enjoys the best home court advantage
in the country.
Because you got to fly out there. Now a turnover. It'll go back the other way. In terms of sheer crowd and noise, though, the Pit would be the #1 choice in the WAC.
Well, Fresno State is having a pretty good season as well. They're 6-2 in the conference. UNLV 5-3, not that far behind in the Pacific Division.
And that Colorado State club is one that very few talk about. You go up to Fort Collins, Moby Arena, pretty tough place to win.
Yes, sir.
Good look, good ball movement. Shields waiting on the perimeter, but a 3-second call. There might have been a couple of them in there.
Yeah, that extra pass is what didn't give the Lobos a chance to get out of the lane. Unselfish play, but get the shot up.
Derek, what do you think? Does this league have a chance to get 5 teams in the tournament? I know Billy Packer over the weekend was talking about that. A lot of people think that it's, a good league, but 5 teams out of a league out in this part of the country, will they get the seeding and the picks necessary to get that many in?
I think it will come down to how many games they win down the stretch. You know, obviously the decision makers are going to be watching your schedule, your opponent's schedule, strength of schedule, and all those things, but you want to try to make the best run you can down the stretch so that you can get the best record going into the tournament and make it look like your team is a little bit more solid than what it is.
And the tough thing about that is, in a league like this and two divisions like this, everybody's beating up on each other.
Exactly.
And you don't get those 22, 23 wins from everybody.
So you're going to see a lot of teams with 19 wins, maybe 17 or 18 wins on the bubble, as we always talk about, maybe trying to get that last spot in, or it's, one of those spots in the tournament.
16 teams in this league now. There's Campbell at the high post.
He can't get free.
Montague trying to shake free on the perimeter.
Shot clock.
Spider stopped him, and then Burgess walked.
16 turnovers. 17 turnovers now.
Well, that's how quick they're mounting. Even as we speak, they're going up. 10:22 to go. December 10th, the last time BYU won a basketball game. Where's Danny Ainge when you need him?
Well, he's got Greg Kite sitting on the bench over there, an assistant coach.
Yeah, class of '84 and a pretty good NBA player for a while. Everybody in the building wanted Santiago to shoot that three, except for Dave Bliss and Santiago.
Well, Tony Engel also has an assistant coach, Russ Zalg, over there on the sideline. But he also had another assistant coach, Lynn Archibald, who is not with the team right now, and we really wish he and his family well.
And Lynn fighting the battle of his life with terminal cancer. Has taken a leave of absence to spend time with his family. There's a lot of adversity this BYU program is going through right now. There's a search on for a head coach. Tony Engel has been told that he will be given consideration. Time will tell.
Well, there are a lot of teams out there who will probably be making some changes over the offseason, and BYU wants to try to find the best person available, maybe high profile, to fill that position.
Now, what about this Gifford Nielsen rumor we keep hearing? Is the quarterback going to coach this basketball team?
I want to know if Gifford is starting the rumor. Never coached anything in his life, not basketball, in his life, as far as I know.
I guess he can always have Robbie Bosco and Jim McMahon and Steve Sarkisian on his coaching staff.
Think they could recruit?
They'll know how to move the basketball, won't they?
Yeah, I think
through the air anyway.
I think they can move the ball, but I don't know about with the shot clock running down. 5 seconds to go, you make a decision. Who shoots the ball?
Well, quarterback BYU, so great over the years in football with Lavelle Edwards. They had another outstanding team in the WAC this year. BYU foul on Justin Whitehour, his third, and Charles Smith will go to the line. He'll be an All-American this year. He'll be all WAC again. He's got 19 tonight.
Well, Charles has a chance to keep playing after this, and, I hope he goes to all the camps and so forth to try to keep showing the scouts that he can play. He added 20 pounds over the last couple of years to his frame. You can see he's not very big in stature. They list him at 194, but very, very gifted athlete.
Kenny Thomas, big in stature at 260, is back. 57-22, New Mexico. In the final 10 minutes.
A lot of scouts watching Kenny Thomas. He's got terrific skills.
Lobos, by the way, will go on the road for 2 this week after this one. Dave Bliss will pay a visit down to Moody Coliseum and SMU, then TCU and Billy Tubbs on Saturday.
Well, the Cougars have their next 4 games at home. They host Utah, Wyoming, TCU, and SMU. And how about coming into this hostile environment and then playing a team that got beat last Saturday in Utah?
Yikes. That was a foul on Royce Olney a moment ago. Whitehour, little give and go with Montague. And then Smith on the foul, trying to stay with him. That'll be number 2 on Charles.
Well, even though we didn't see a shot attempt on that play, at least the Cougars seem to be going toward the basket. They're going now north and south instead of east to west, pulling it back out. And, here I talk about it, and there they go pulling it back out again.
Kenny Thomas on the steal. The kick for long on the wing. There's a spin move on the baseline. Olney, he's a sniper out there. He's well short with it, but he was right there to get his own rebound. Great look, but short with it was Kenny Thomas.
Fading away.
Montague trying to transition for BYU. Whitehour for 3. Nielsen a touch. He's the last to touch it. It goes back to the Lobos.
Now, I like that shot attempt by Whitehour. He was a step or two behind the three-point arc, but he was open. He didn't have to fight with a defender and their hand right in his face.
Well, Dave Bliss, it's been a great year for him. His beloved Yankees won the World Series. He's a really exuberant baseball fan. He's a New York kid. Went to Cornell. And that'll be goaltending on Michael Thompson. So I believe Charles Smith will get the basket, and that was a three-point attempt.
Yes, I think you're right, Bob. Ball was over the cylinder, and you're going to see Thompson go up. The ball is over the basket, and he's going to tip it out right there.
And he gets 3 for that. As if Charles needs a break like that. He's got 23 now. And New Mexico just keeps on turning the pressure up. And Tony Engel wants to use his final 20 of the night. 8:16 remaining. It's been a funny year in college basketball. We've seen a lot of low point totals. And the lowest, of course, 36 by Dartmouth as we go way back to the early 70s. And I'm telling you, BYU is nowhere near 36 right now.
No, and it looks like they may not get there unless they change the game plan that they started with. They have to put the ball in the basket in order to at least give themselves a chance. But 60-22 with 8 minutes to go on the road, that's very tough to come back.
And speaking of on the road, the Lobos are a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde when they get away from here. All of their losses at Texas Tech, at Hawaii, and at Tulsa have been on the road. They don't shoot nearly as well, and their opponents shoot much better. So there's no doubt the unbelievable advantage they have in this place. Rebound for BYU's Justin Whitehour. He's going to have a double-double tonight.
Well, the Lobos will have to be one of the favorites in the conference this year. They return all 5 starters, and the fans are extremely excited.
Justin Whitehour, pretty good pass there as he was falling down.
Tony Engel was telling his play, he's actually making a substitution. He didn't want the shot that quickly. He was upset.
Lamont Long. Nice little jumper. The freshman's doing a nice job, Derek, of picking his spots.
Yes, he is. And with the team being as experienced as it is, he's finding a way to find what is his. Be it a pass, be it a rebound, or be it that open shot with a little head fake.
Campbell trying to seal his man off, and the Spider was there to take it away. 4-on-1. This isn't fair. But Montague gets a piece of it and prevents the basket. Well, speaking of BYU football, when we come back, you'll see a running back on the floor. 7:06 to go. Lobos by a lot. On life and be of sound character, and a lot of schools, of course, have that criteria. So it'll be very interesting to see if it's not Tony Engel, who it will end up being. It's a very attractive basketball job.
Yes, it is, but you also have to deal with the fact that you have players who go on their Mormon mission, and they will be gone for a couple of years, a la Sean Bradley. You know, right now, Robbie Reed and Brett Jepson are on their mission. You know, 2 key players that could have probably helped this BYU team this year. And also, don't forget about Brian Ruffner, a guy who could have led the nation in scoring. He averaged 19 points a game and 6 rebounds last year for the Cougars.
I guess the upside of it is when you get those guys back, you get young men who are more mature. Some of them are married by the time they get back to the basketball team. But at the same time, you're laying off 2 years. And at the Division I level, it's not that easy.
No, it isn't, to recover and also to get back into, basketball condition with your teammates. And, it's a very difficult situation for a coach, knowing that you're going to recruit players, but you're also going to lose them for 2 years.
There's Tyrone Brown out of Abingdon, Virginia. He's a running back on Lavelle Edwards' football team. He had 3 rebounds in 7 minutes on Saturday at UTEP in their most recent game.
And he's already served his Mormon mission. Went to Venezuela.
Under 6 minutes remaining, 65-24 New Mexico. Well, BYU 15-13 last year. They were a 500 team in the WAC. Finished 5th. Lost a couple of starters in Ken Roberts and Randy Reed. Nice little jumper from the left side. David Gibson's first field goal of the night. But he's the guy who they called their backbone, the point guard who runs things, and they've got so much power from the other guys who score. They really don't need him to score at all.
No, they don't, but that's, again, a terrific job by the freshman, Lamont Long, to be able to try to get inside, go to the baseline. Nothing's there for himself, so he finds his teammate on the opposite side.
Whitehour, and he was fouled by Clayton Shields. Greg Shortstein will check back in for the Lobos, who are 16-3, trying to make it 23 straight at home tonight. There's some pretty good company when you talk about the other teams that play well at home. They're a good three-point shooting team, and tonight they've been even better. Charles Smith might be sitting down for the last time tonight.
I think so.
He's into the record book as the #1 scorer in New Mexico history. And we're thankful that he could share this evening with us. He has been a high spot. He is so streaky. I'd like to know how many minutes it took to score those 23, Derek. It can't be very many.
No, it can't, because he was in and out of the lineup. I think we've also seen Clayton Shields sitting down for the rest of his evening. But that was a nice afternoon's work, a nice evening's work for Charles Smith. Did a terrific job of just finding the open shot and making some great passes to his teammates.
Schornstein, Whitehour, 23 points in 27 minutes for Charles Smith tonight.
Another average day at the office.
Yep. Campbell unable to hit. Jeff's had an off night with only 2 field goals, averaging 16 coming in. Playing with a bad back. He has not had a full week of practice since the middle part of December. Lamont Long could not roll it home.
I think Dave Bliss has to be happy with what he's seen. His team started off very slow, but they were able to turn it on a little bit more once they found out what the Cougars were doing. And the Lobos did a great job of getting control of this game after about the 3 or 4 minute mark.
Campbell gets it underneath. He just appears to be exhausted out there. Finally hooks it in and draws the foul, but you know, that first shot, that's normally one that Jeff is going to finish. He just looked like he had nothing left when he went up.
Well, you talked about his back spasms, and I think that might have a little bit to do with his performance this evening.
Goes to the line, trying to get the three-point play. Jeff's an Alabama kid out of Athens. He's got the three-point play. 3:57 remaining at the pit in Albuquerque. 67-28 for the Lobos.
I blame my father's death.
Rich Eisen and Steve Levy are next. They'll talk about Chris Webber and Karl Malone. The knee injury to Shaq. The Bulls are coming up Wednesday, so Shaq does want to get back. And a look around the top 25 in college basketball tonight. There has been an upset. We saw it earlier tonight when the Longhorns took on the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Marcus White, number 12, has checked in for New Mexico.
I guarantee you, Bob, the Bulls are going to be ready for the Lakers on Wednesday.
I think the Bulls are ready for anybody right now. I think they're ready for the NBA Finals as we speak.
Well, still a few more games to go. Got to play the Blazers tomorrow night.
Santiago going right at Campbell. That will be number 4 on Jeff. Well, BYU's got a couple of guys playing hurt. Campbell with the back. Montague with the bad shoulder. I mean, they just have to feel like they're trying to climb the Wasatch Mountains out in Utah right now. Yeah. It's just an uphill battle for them every night. Tony Ingles says this is a great bunch of kids. And, you know, we saw practice today, Derek. They're lively at practice. You would walk into their practice and think that they were a pretty good basketball team. You could not tell that they are as down and out as their record would indicate.
No, they are a fundamentally sound team. I mean, there's no question about that. But, you know, playing on the road has been very difficult for them this season. Their only win came at home, and we mentioned earlier they won that by 3 points, shooting 64% from the field. So they have to shoot the ball well in order to be able to compete.
Marcus White nearly knocking one down. Running down to the 3-minute mark remaining. It'll be 13 straight for BYU. Montague off the glass. Rebound Alney. He will drive baseline right. And Burgess will be there to intercept for the Cougars.
Very difficult challenge ahead for Tony Ingle to try to keep the morale of his players up. I've not been through any streaks like this before, but I've been through situations where you want to try to find a way to get yourself out of it, and the only way you can do that is by winning a game. Yes, you can get close, you can compete, and you can, you know, maybe lose a game, get a moral victory, but you have to come away with a win somehow, and hopefully the Cougars can do that at home.
I'll tell you one guy who keeps going at New Mexico, and that's Justin Whiteout. We saw some of his leadership at practice today. He will go to the line on the foul by Greg Schornstein. I mean, you could just look at it. I mean, these kids are gassed. They've got nothing left.
Well, you mentioned that Justin is 24 years old, and, you know, coming out of high school in Taylorsville, Utah, he was Mr. Basketball. He was also Player of the Year in the state, recruited by UCLA, Michigan, Arizona State, Georgetown, and Kansas. So he had some great credentials, and a lot of people wanted his services.
Whitehour with 14 tonight. And, of course, one name of a kid who is not going to BYU still rings loud in the ears of Cougar fans, and that's Chris Burgess, the young man from Irvine, California. He's heading for Duke. Whitehour rims out on him. Santiago a touch. Burgess and Whitehour get it back. Things have gone a little crazy here in the final 2 minutes. And that pass by Marcus White was deflected on the way in.
This is the time where you want to see your guys execute out there, but you don't want anybody to get hurt.
Well, Dave Bliss with a 2-game road trip coming up. SMU Thursday, TCU Saturday. The good thing about that road swing is you don't even have to get on the plane in between the dates in Dallas and Fort Worth. Pretty good play there to take it away. That was Nick Taggart, another freshman out of Wake Forest High School over in Raleigh, who took that one away.
And a little sloppy down the stretch here. Let's finish it out strong.
90 seconds remaining. Here comes Lamont Long. Sonnenberg got a reach. You might say the officials are letting them play right now.
I think so. There's no reason to keep this game prolonged.
Anderson the rebound. No blood, no foul.
There you go.
And here we go in the final 70 seconds. It's 69-32.
Let's get out of here with all your fingers and toes. Nobody get hurt.
There's a rebound for Chris Paddock, who checked in. Big center. Big junior out of Abilene, Texas, and the big fellow will go to the line.
They had to call that one.
Foul on Nick Taggart, his first. Robbie Yates back in. Michael Thompson back in for BYU. It'll be win number 189 for Dave Bliss in his 9th year here. And in his 22nd year overall, number 408, they're going to move ahead of UNO and tie with Kentucky behind Kansas for the best home winning streaks in college basketball right now.
Well, Dave Bliss is a very young-looking man to have coached, you know, for 24 seasons.
There is no way that man's 53 years old. He must be joking. He looks the same as he did when he was at Oklahoma.
Terrific man. I had a pleasure of playing golf with him at the Olympic Club a couple of years ago, and we're both still looking for some of our balls.
You name dropper, you. Under 50 seconds we go. Sonnenberg on the miss. The rebound for Paddock. Marcus White to Santiago. You got to get over the iron to jam it, big guy.
Too far under the basket.
This looks like the first half hour of Summer League. The foul on Marcus White. And Sonnenberg will go to the line.
Say it's getting a little ragged out there. Well, those things happen this time of the evening. Uh-oh, we had a lane violation. Turn the ball over, no free throws.
That could be costly in a game like this.
Oh, yes.
Royce Olney for New Mexico for Marcus White. Lobos will go 17-3. And the crowd goes nuts as Marcos buries one. He's a walk-on out of Carson, California.
They were holding their breath waiting for that.
It was in all the way. Here he comes again. He'll go for long. Lamont scores. And this game is over. 74-32 New Mexico. At the half, they led 35-18. And Derek, it was just kind of a routine night. We thought BYU was unmanned coming in. That's the way it turned out.
Well, Dave Bliss should really be happy and proud of what his players did when they came out on the court. They weren't sure of the strategy of the Cougars, but once they figured it out, the defensive pressure just took over the game. They were able to force some turnovers and put those points on the board.
And Charles Smith tonight becomes the #1 scorer in New Mexico history, passing Luke Longley 23 points in 27 minutes tonight. The final score in New Mexico 74 and BYU 32. SportsCenter's coming up next on ESPN. For Derek Dickey and our crew here in Albuquerque, I'm Bob Carpenter. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. The Lobos are on a roll, and SportsCenter, of course, is next.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We are driving excitement.